Welcome to the Childcare Genius Podcast, the world's #1 community for brilliant childcare leaders. Each episode will feature interviews with the brightest minds in the childcare industry to guide you into becoming a smarter business leader. Our hosts have opened 10 schools while raising 5 children. They are certified business coaches, best-selling authors, and have personally helped thousands of childcare owners around the world achieve incredible growth. Let's welcome to the Childcare Genius Podcast, Brian and Carol Dupre.
Welcome to episode 15 of the Childcare Genius Podcast.
We're your hosts, Brian and Carol Dupre. And we have an exciting announcement. We announced this last week, but our new book, Advanced Childcare Business Strategies, Secrets to Profitability, Expansion, and Wealth Creation, is now available for purchase on Amazon. We're excited. Book number 6.
And we'd like to offer this book to you if you're a U.S. podcast listener, absolutely free.
So in this book, it is all about advanced strategies of how to expand your childcare center. This book is not for somebody who's a home provider, always wants to be a home provider and run a small school. This is not for you. I have other books that are available for you. This book is somebody who wants to expand, build a large childcare business, create an amazing program, and be profitable and create wealth. This is for you. And we'd like to get this in your hands for free. And all you have to do is visit childcaregenius.com/books to order today. And we'll even pay for shipping. So it costs you absolutely nothing.
If you live outside the U.S., you can order the book on Amazon.
Available in any country. And this episode, we're going to interview Professor Lisa Giancarli.
Lisa is an owner of a large school in central New Jersey.
So today we're going to be discussing the power of joining a coaching program, having a coach, and being coached.
Let's get Lisa on the line.
Hi, Lisa. Welcome to the Childcare Genius Podcast. How is Lisa today?
I'm great. How you guys doing?
Doing absolutely wonderful. So you're calling in from central New Jersey.
Yeah.
What's it like in New Jersey this time of year?
Oh, it's beautiful. Nice autumn. Trees are changing. They're still there out there, colorful. So it's gorgeous. It's actually a little warm today too. It's like in the 70s.
Yeah, actually, it's the 70s up here in Maine in November. That's kind of unheard of, so we're not complaining. In October, we're in the 30s, so in November, the 70s is not bad.
I'll take it.
I'll take it. And all our leaves are gone, so our trees are bare already.
Yeah, you guys get hit earlier up there, but ours are so beautiful.
Yeah, I'm sure it's really nice down there.
Yeah.
And I've been to your school a couple times, so I know your area and I know you very well. Mm-hmm. And it's so good to have you on. We're going to talk a little bit about the power of having a coach and being coached today.
Mm-hmm. Great.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you accidentally got into the childcare business?
Well, I keep it clean. My husband and I invested in this building back in 2011, and it had a childcare center in it that was pretty bad. And my husband said, I need you to run it for a few months, but I have a buyer for the business. And I said, okay, I didn't know much about the business, but I could do anything for 4 months. And when the deal fell through, my husband's like, you know what, we're going to keep the school. And I was like, OMG. I didn't know anything about the childcare business. And I just jumped in and pretty much figured it out.
Wow. We accidentally got in, but we got in a different way. But it's funny hearing all the stories of how people got into the childcare business. You had no childcare experience, no childcare education, but yet you figured it out. Yeah. And you probably made a whole lot of mistakes, though, didn't you?
A ton of them.
So for the first 5 years, you owned your childcare business. You did it all on your own. You had nobody to guide you, nobody to mentor you. What was that like?
It was extremely hard. What do you do first? All right, I got to figure out licensing and teachers and curriculum and staffing and all this kind of stuff. And then I depended on the staff that I had inherited, which at the time I thought they were the best because they were teaching me everything, but they only taught me what they knew. Couple that in with, I had a resentment towards the business and my husband because I didn't want to be it's hard to get thrown into something that you don't want to do or you never had an idea to do it. And every day I would go in and I was like, I had this like dread. I had this like foreboding in me that was like, oh, what is today going to bring? It was some tough days to go in there. A lot of things. I had the smell of the place made me sick. The day's problems made me sick. The staff or lack of frustrations. I'm like, this business is really, really hard.
Now, Lisa, what was your background? What were you doing before this?
I mean, I have a marketing degree, a business degree, and prior to that, I was a stay-at-home mom for about 13 years. And prior to that, I was in market research. So I was a research analyst.
Wow.
Yeah.
A little
So
bit
you're
different.
not used to leading teams of young people and hearing screaming babies in the background.
Oh, yeah.
And the
Exactly.
smell of poopy diapers in the air. And
Yeah.
so it's definitely different to get thrown in that. And I'm sure you really probably had a few choice words for your husband every night.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So do you ever put him to work changing some diapers and fixing things to school?
Oh, no.
No.
No, he's very distant from it. That's true. Very distant from it. He's good about the building as far as,
Wait.
your roof, air conditioning broke, something like that. But as far as ever stepping into a classroom or the school, no.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Mhm.
In the last 5 years, you've had Brian as a coach and a mentor. How was it different than the first 5 years?
Well, it was funny because my husband had actually found a coaching program that I eventually got in. But of course, because I still had that resentment toward him, I was ignoring all the emails and information that he sent me. And then I finally decided to take a look at it. And I went to this big meeting and I was like, wow, I need this. And Brian became my coach. What did it feel like to get a coach? It feels like you go in a partnership almost with someone, but with that someone who's had success. So you're in partnership with a successful person and they're just helping you identify your problems and helping you to take action and see the results. So I think that's been the biggest thing that coaching has meant to me.
Yeah, and you were such a pleasure to work with, Lisa, and you still are. I mean, we talk a lot, and I've learned as much from you as you've learned from me because you're an amazing. Your marketing experience is amazing. But anyway, do you think coaching? What would you describe coaching as far as? Do you feel like I had all the answers, or I helped you pull the own answers that you had within you?
Oh, absolutely. You asked me about like one impact, but I think the overall impact has been for you to make me really take an honest look at myself and keep me accountable. Once a coach helps you identify what are your problems, specifically, what's your enrollment? How are your tours going? Why are you having withdrawals? So for a coach to coach you through those problems, and then you really have to say, what are my problems here? And to identify them, and then to really take like the actions that you need to fix it. Are you looking at your CRM? How is your director doing tours? How is everybody answering the phone? You really have to take a good look at yourself and what you're doing in your center, and then how you're training those people to do the things that you need. And I think the biggest thing for the coach is to like help you identify the problems. But then once you identify them, you know what you have to do and go and do it. So I think it's more of like encouragement and accountability.
Yeah, and that's great, Lisa. A lot of times I equate coaching to a forest. And a lot of times when you're in a forest, all you could see is the trees right in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it's so thick, like in the Maine woods, you walk in the Maine woods, you're lost. It's just so thick with trees and everywhere and shrubs and stuff. So that's what happens with a childcare center owner when you're dealing with teachers, you're dealing with parents, you're dealing with kids. There's so many things going on. And you have the state licensing calling, then you have workers' comp, and you have unemployment. You have so many things that you, as my friend Cindy used to say, you're spinning plates.
Oh my
And
gosh,
things
yeah.
start getting dropped here and dropped there. What a coach does is takes you and lifts you above the forest. And then you could look down and see the whole forest that you couldn't see when you were dealing with this plate and dealing with this plate and dealing with this plate. Because as you're holding one plate, another one's dropping. You're not seeing that because you're
Right.
so focused on this plate here. And it's not that the coach had all the answers. The coach was able to take you to a point to see the answer yourself.
Well, to make you look at the business that way, like look at the whole business. There's different parts of it. There's the financial part, there's a teacher part, the HR part, the operations part. And when you just really kind of dissect it and say, okay, what's going right? The coach also helps you determine that. We always talked about that. What's going right? What's going good?
Yeah.
And then focusing on, you would say to me, Lisa, what are your pain points? What are you having problems with? Sometimes I think it's hard when you're in the business to really identify what your pain points are, what you're having problems with, or you're just getting so frustrated so you really are able to look at it together. Like I remember we had calls and you're like, why aren't you getting calls? Let's look at your CRM. How many tours are you getting from your calls? Maybe you're not answering the phone right. Like just to help you and get like another set of fresh eyes on your business. Like when you're a childcare owner, like who are you accountable to or who's helping you? No one.
That's right.
And you think you know it, but you don't.
Right. When you have so many plates spinning, sometimes you don't take the time to look at the things that are going wrong because you're fixing all these things. You don't look at your numbers. You don't look at your marketing.
Right.
You don't look at those things, which you have to do everything simultaneously, but you tend to prioritize, and it tends to be the squeaky wheel gets the grease.
Right.
So you only deal with problems all the time. You have no time to get more children to be enrolled because you're so busy focusing on the problem employees that you have. So
Right.
what we like to do in coaching is look at everything.
Correct.
And that's why we always want to know what's going right, so we could find out how to take things that are going wrong and make them right. It's not always the bad. A lot of times it's the good as well.
Exactly. Right. And you have to be happy for the things that are going right. You can't focus only on the things that are going wrong. And I think also as an owner, something that my husband always used to tell me, Lisa, you need to stay macro. You need to look at the big picture. And sometimes I think owners who have been directors and then they become owners still think like the director and don't look at the business as a whole and look at the different areas that they really need to spread themselves over. Like we always talk about, working on your business, not in your business. Some people have a hard transition with that, becoming a director to an owner, or just being an owner and want to be like a micromanager, hands on everything. You can't be like that. And I think a good coach does help you take a step back and, like you're saying, look at the forest or look at the school as a whole and not all the little problems that are coming up every day. I mean, I always say childcare is like crazy town. And every day you have like, it's going to be crazy for certain lack of a better word, but then you're going to go in there and one day you're going to have COVID, or you're going to have 2 teachers walk out, or you're going to have a parent who's really upset. And there are the things that you can't control. So if you can get consistent with controlling the things you can, then when those big stuff come up, you can handle that.
Yeah. And so in Childcare Genius University, we coach one-on-one.
Mhm.
Do you see the power in that and having
Absolutely.
one coach, one person to know your business inside and out? Do you see the benefit of that?
Absolutely. Sometimes you don't want to share your problems, say if you're in a group, because it's embarrassing, or you don't want to look like you're the owner that doesn't know any better or how to make decisions. But I think when you have a one-on-one coach, you get to know each other's businesses. The coach gets to know your business more intimately and can also say, that's happened to me. I've gone down that road. Here's what happened when that happened to me. So one-on-one coaching is really, really important.
Yeah, I've always enjoyed it better as well, and I like that. And like I said, I've been to your school. I've been to your school a couple different times
Mhm.
because you bribed me with pies every time I happen to drive by. So, Brian, I got a pie waiting for you. So, hint, hint.
It's Italian, it's food. It's my
I
love
could be
language.
bribed with pies.
I'm good at
And
bribing people with food.
it sure made me a better coach having to know your layout of your school. I know where your play area is. I know how your setup is. I know what your infant room is. I know your after school room is. I can picture it in my head.
Some of my staff.
Yes, I got to meet all your team members. So when I coach you, I know the director's name. I know all about her, I know her personality because I've met her, so we can coach better. So that's why one thing I like about our dynasty level of our university is I do a site visit and I get to know these clients individually. So a lot of
when you
people
have that
tell me,
one-on-one time, you
yeah,
also can be more like specific with things, like here's what I got going on today. How can you help me with this? Like it's uninterrupted by other people or other things. Like you spend that quality time together. It's almost like when people say they have a lot of kids and they always have like a one-on-one day with one of their kids, they can give them that like direct attention. Like that's really important. That's
Yeah.
really, really important.
and I enjoy the time one-on-one with clients as well because I feel like I'd really dig down. And to me, it's like it's my craft, it's my art, is really digging down and finding out where the problems lie with a client and helping them solve the problem. And then getting the call a week or two later, the thank you. Oh my God, you really helped me. You made a difference in my life. That where I get it. To me, it's my calling. And that's why I enjoy it. Carol got to see, we were in St. Lucia, and one of the couples said, you know what, Brian, you really changed our life. If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't be in the business. And it brought me to tears. And Carol said, wow, the power of what we do. And that's what really made us want to work together and really work as a team, helping people, and its power there. But so a lot of people tell me that they can't afford coaching. And for all the money you've spent on coaching in the last 5 years, you feel like you've gotten a good value for investment?
I think most people can't not to afford to get a coach. You have to spend it. When I went to my first meeting and I was going to get into a coaching program, and I remember I had a toxic director at the time, and she's like, Lisa, we can't afford this. And I said, we can't afford not to do this. We don't know what we're doing. You have to understand where you have to spend good money to make money and have success with your business. It's the best money I've probably spent in my business life. It just didn't help me with the actual business. I mean, it helped me personally, mindset, people connection, having more empathy, having more compassion for people. When you get into a program, you get recommended books, or you just learn, it's personal journey. It's not just for your business. I think you have to look at it as that. I think one thing about it, a thing that a coach also does is like, it will change your mindset. I mean, if you get someone who's just so fed up with the business, I think the first thing you have to do with them is change their mindset before you can help them in their business and with their business problems. So it's an investment. It's an investment not only in your business, it's an investment in you. There's nothing but good can come out of it. So is it coaching is worth it? Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, I can say, maybe it's not for everybody, because if you're gonna get a coach and not believe in it and not do what is suggested, then it's definitely not for you. But if you're struggling and you need somebody to help find those problem areas and dig down and hold you accountable, then I've had coaches, many coaches in my life, but I never had one before I got into the childcare business, because I never played any sports. But pick any major athlete, Tom Brady, Tiger Woods, they all have coaches.
Absolutely.
There's not one professional athlete that doesn't have a coach. And even professional golfers who work by themselves have coaches to make them better. Tiger Woods' swing coach won a whole lot less tournaments than Tiger Woods has. Why does he use them? Because he can see things Tiger can't see.
Of course.
That's what the cool thing is. Tiger's a much better golfer, but his coach can find his weaknesses. And that's what a coach does. Find your weaknesses and turns them into strengths.
Well, sometimes too, I was thinking about the whole like athlete coach analogy. When you think of a coach, you think, okay, you're an athlete, but you still need to be led the right way to do the sport that you do. I mean, what does a coach do? The coach is a person who understands the game. You might just be like one player on a team that understands your position, but the coach understands the game. And then you train with that coach and you listen to him or her and you experience the sport in a different way. And then it's up to the athlete, though, to do the work. And that's what I will say about coaching. And a good coach will hold you accountable. You know, you can't just get in a coaching program and expect rainbows and unicorns. It's going to take work. But I think that if you think of it as an athlete and you train and you do it, you can't not have success. You just can't. I mean, I dare somebody to just say, like, stay in your business that is killing you right now and go into a coaching program for 1 year and be honest with yourself after a year and say, I really gave it my all. Did it really make a difference? I'm sure it's going to make a huge difference.
And you know, Lisa, if you're an owner of a childcare center listening to this podcast, you are a coach. You're the coach of your team.
Of course.
So how are you as a coach?
How am I?
And by having a coach might make you a better coach as well.
Absolutely. I think, like I just mentioned, I think coaching has also helped me personally with how to have a better mindset and how to really connect with the people. I mean, you're connecting with your director, you're connecting with your teachers, you're connecting with the parents better. You really get to have some compassion and empathy for them. And I guess what makes me want to be a coach, or how can I be, am I a good coach, is because of my experiences. Do I know everything about the childcare business? No, not every coach out there knows everything about every sport, but I know a lot. And I've failed a lot, which means I've also succeeded a lot. And I think that's what you need as a coach. It's funny because when I started getting into a coaching program, and I said to myself, like, every business out there could use a coach. Like, there's not a business out there that couldn't use a coach. Like, who's an expert at their business? You're not. So why wouldn't you go to someone who knows a lot more than you or has more experience than you and then be your coach or your mentor or your professor? Because you can only learn great things from them. Why wouldn't you do it? I feel like I could even coach somebody in a different type of business right now with what I've learned over the last 11 years of owning my own business, you know?
For sure.
Right.
So Lisa, you are now one of our Childcare Genius University professors.
Mhm.
We brought you on because you've been through everything. You failed, you have succeeded. And show me somebody who's never failed in a childcare business, I'll show you a failure.
Oh, yeah.
Because failure is how we learn. I've made more mistakes than everybody. I write books about all the mistakes I've made so other people don't have to make them. And that's what a good coach is to help you avoid the mistakes by showing the mistakes they've made. And what are you looking forward to the most when it comes to helping other childcare owners?
I really can't wait to help other childcare owners have success in their business. Overall, I think that, and maybe some of them are having more success than they think they are, but they need to see it. I specifically want to get them there faster than it took me. You know, you learn from people's mistakes. I mean, they're still going to make mistakes, but to encourage them to really change their mindset and then do the work faster, and then they'll see the success that they can have, and to help them identify when they're having little successes, because sometimes everybody's looking for the big, you know, oh my God, we made so much money last year. Oh my God, like, a success to me right now, especially in this job market, is like having an interview with a teacher and the teacher showing up and possibly hiring her. You know, like, that's a win. Yeah. And I even did it with a staff meeting the other day, and I said, everybody tell me like a high and low from this week. And at first, when people started they didn't want to share because they thought their littlest thing wasn't a big win, and they were humongous wins. So I think that's what I'm really looking forward to too, is to really help people like change their mindset and just be like positive, because this business can hire you out and wear you out. And I think we all need like a cheerleader. I think that's what you've been for me, even during COVID. You know, you would sometimes just give me a call and say, how's it going? How's it going? And I would say it was going pretty well, because even at that time, which I think was huge, is that if I wasn't involved in a coaching program, especially during the COVID years, we'll call them, I think I would have probably gotten out of this business. But to have people there and supporting you, and also because all of your professors that you have in your university have owned child care centers, I can honestly say I've walked the walk. I've been in your shoes. I've been in worse shoes than yours, but I'm doing it. I'm dealing with the same staff problems. I'm dealing with the same problem parents. I'm dealing with the same everything that you are and I have. So I think that's really important for me too, is that the coaches are also all own or have owned their own childcare businesses. So we know.
That's great, Lisa.
Mm-hmm.
So, Lisa, our mindset question for you this week is, where is your happy place?
My happy place is anywhere in Italy. I just love to go there, visit. I'm an Italian. My father's from Italy. I love to go there and just like immerse myself in the food, in the culture, in just taking some time for me. And I think that's another thing that childcare owners need to do is really, if you have a happy place, you got to go to the happy place. And when you go to that happy place, wherever it might be, you really come back like recharged and refreshed. And that definitely changes my mindset. That's for sure.
And that's
I might
good.
have to open up a few schools there. I don't know. I've looked into it. So we'll
English
see.
schools, right? Bilingual schools.
Yeah.
Well, Lisa, this has been an absolute pleasure. Thank
Great.
you for sharing your amazing knowledge. Thank you for joining our amazing team and teaching our students. And if you want to reach Lisa, you can reach her at Lisa, Lisa, at childcaregenius.com. And she's very giving and love to help you out.
Thank
And
you for having me. And I'm looking forward to working with everybody.
And I'm looking forward to getting my pie. I'm going to be coming by for a pie here in a couple of weeks on my way down to Pennsylvania. Looking forward to seeing you and Joe. And thanks again for coming on the podcast today.
Thank you.
So Lisa is one of the most fascinating people I know. I just absolutely love her.
I know, she's such a giving person.
Yeah, she's great. We've been to her schools. We've gotten to know her. We know her and her husband. And it's just an amazing partnership. I'm so glad that she's joining our team to help other people. We're going to make a big difference in the world. We're excited about that. But if you need help coaching in your business, Childcare Genius University is here to help. We're looking to expand. Our team of Childcare Genius University coaches are looking to help you. So let's get on a video chat and discuss if Childcare Genius is right for you.
Just visit childcaregenius.com/university to book a Zoom call with Brian.
So right now I'm doing a free discovery call with anybody that's serious about expanding your business. If you're looking to grow and expand your program, you've maybe ordered our book here and you want to grow your program and build a large childcare center, I'd like to get a call with you. I'm going to offer you a free discovery call. Just go to childcaregenius.com/university, book a call with me, get on my calendar, and we'll go ahead and do a call. Before we go, we'd like to let you know that this podcast is sponsored by Elite Childcare Insurance.
Give Blake a call at 972-754-8595 to get a free quote on childcare insurance today.
I know we say this every week, but we love Elite Childcare Insurance.
We do.
Very good. Anyway, so this concludes episode 15 of the Childcare Genius podcast.
Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you won't miss a future episode. And we'll see you again next week.
See you next week. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to the Childcare Genius podcast. If you enjoyed the show, please do us a favor and hit the subscribe button so you won't miss a future episode. Don't forget to visit our website at childcaregenius.com to see a list of services we offer to help your childcare business grow. Until next time, thank you for being a part of the Childcare Genius community.